Up next on U.S. Bank BusinessWatch, presented by the Cincinnati Business Courier, it's a tenant's market when it comes to downtown commercial real estate, why some companies with long leases are taking advantage of the climate. A big player in the Mac computer world is based right here in Cincinnati, and it's growing. And a local firm is seeing big gains for companies like Frisch's by running social media campaigns. U.S. Bank BusinessWatch is next. Good morning and welcome to U.S. Bank Business Watch. I'm Brian Patrick. On the front page of the Business Courier this week, the race is on to get the best prices on downtown commercial real estate. Keating, Muthing & Kleekamp, one of Cincinnati's largest law firms, is exploring its downtown office space options 2 years before its lease runs out. The law firm is scouring the central business district for 80,000 to 90,000 square feet of space. KMK is testing the waters because tenants currently have the upper hand in today's downtown real estate negotiations. The law firm joins a list of large tenants that are either looking at options or have made a move downtown in recent months. dunnhumby USA is looking for about 250,000 square feet of space. First Financial Bank's headquarters, Omnicare, and Nielsen have also made moves in the past year. The addition of Great American Tower at Queen City Square to Cincinnati's office market helped kick off some of these shifts. Space has filled quickly in the nearly 1 million square foot structure. Nearly all of Queen City Square's tenants have come from other buildings in the downtown central business district, leaving a lot of Class A space on the market. According to Cassidy Turley Commercial Real Estate Services, from a tenant's perspective, the market is not going to get any better than it is today. With more on this, Cassidy Turley Managing Principal Doug Bolton joins Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. And Doug, thank you so much for being here. As many of you know, Doug was my boss at the Business Courier for a long, long time until last year, but it's great to see you again.
It's good to be on the other side of the chair.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. You just had your big annual State of Real Estate event earlier in the week, and wanted to get a little bit of an idea from you about what you talked about there and what you really see, you know, talking about this story about these musical chairs that a lot of companies are looking at downtown. Why is this happening, and where do you see it going?
Clearly, the office market in Cincinnati is probably the softest part of the commercial real estate market. We talked a lot about that. Industrial's doing pretty well, investment's doing real well, and then of course we all see the retail restaurant business kind of booming right now, and that's good. But the office market, it's going to be a tough market because, as Brian mentioned, there's a new building that's stolen a lot of tenants and emptied out a lot of buildings, and there's not a lot of job growth, anemic economy, so it's a perfect storm for the industry, but it's a good time for tenants as KMK is out there shopping, trying to figure out where they should move.
Do you expect to see more of those kind of companies that you'll find out that are looking around?
I think tenants, if you have a lease, whether you're in the suburbs or downtown, and it expires sometime in the next 5 years, now is a good time to go out there and actually look and see what you might be able to do, either on a renewal basis or find new space somewhere else.
Now, if a company is out in the suburbs somewhere along one of the freeways and they've maybe thought about downtown, but for whatever reason just hadn't happened, what are some of the reasons when you're talking to people, why go downtown? What is the upside?
Well, the urban core is rocking right now. It's you know, with lots of activity, people moving back downtown. So you know, there's a lot of activity, and it's not just Cincinnati. That's going on nationally. So I think companies are thinking strongly about maybe coming back to the core, making it easier for people to get to their office. You know, the only hitch is parking. We have a big parking issue in Cincinnati. So that's the free stuff out in the suburbs, keeps that economics maybe a level of playing field, but it's still there's a lot of opportunity in downtown right now with all the things that are going on that companies might be able to get a better deal downtown than they can even get in the suburbs.
Right, it's very interesting. We'll be certainly doing more on this, and hopefully we can talk to you more about this as the year progresses. So thanks, Doug, for being here. And Brian, back to you.
All right, thanks, Rob. Good to see Doug again. Mac fans, listen up. Northside-based Elon Technologies has purchased controlling interest in a fast-growing Apple service provider and plans to expand its sales to large companies. Elon deals only with Apple products, and as Apple has grown, so has Elon. Its revenue jumped from just under $600,000 in 2008 to $1.8 million in 2010, putting it on the Business Courier's Fast 55 list of the fastest-growing local companies. Jay Vollmer bought a majority stake in Elon late last year.
Most of our enterprise customers here in Cincinnati are primarily Windows-based environments, and there was a gap in support for Apple products. Elon has a very large number of resources for us to pull on. We've got 4 locations, Cincinnati, Louisville, Indianapolis, as well as Columbus, Ohio.
Elon services including networking, security, and setting up systems, as well as providing a help desk for clients from its call centers. Jeanette McClellan is an Apple devotee. She uses 2 computers, an iPhone, and several iPads to showcase her latest work. McClellan is a digital strategist for 2060 Digital, a 22-employee consulting firm. Its Minnesota parent company, Hubbard, owns WUBE-FM 105.1 and 3 other Cincinnati radio stations. It launched social media consulting as its own separate brand this month after 3 years of rapid growth that produced 100 new clients.
There's so many ways to connect with people through social media, whether you're running a promotion and they enter a contest, or whether you just ask them what they're thinking. People love to give their opinion, they love to give feedback, and there's no better place than social media to ask people what their opinion is or what they want out of your product or service and get instant feedback.
One example is a Facebook promotion Digital 2060 ran for Frisch's, asking Frisch's customers to vote for their favorite menu item to win a free lunch. The contest was also promoted on Hubbard radio stations and resulted in a huge leap in Facebook friends. Also on the Business Courier front page this week, hospitals provide charity care in exchange for nonprofit status and other tax exemptions. But have they provided enough? Federal and state officials are now looking closely at whether hospitals are giving back enough to justify their nonprofit status. Hospitals that see their tax-exempt status denied can end up on the hook for millions of dollars a year in taxes. Greater Cincinnati's major hospitals provided $171 million in charity care and $759 million in total community benefit, according to the most recent IRS filings. At the high end of local hospitals are Mercy Hospital Claremont and University Hospital, whose charity care levels were around 7% of total expenses. At the bottom tier are Christ Hospital, Bethesda North, Jewish, Drake Center, and Deaconess Hospital at less than 3%. Expect a major delay in much-needed improvements to local interstates. The Ohio Department of Transportation announced this week it plans to widen I-75 from the Western Hills Viaduct to the Ronald Reagan Cross County Highway, but not until 2018. Also, work on I-75 between Mitchell and the Norwood Lateral is being delayed until 2030. Lack of funding gets the blame for delaying this work. The Department of Transportation gets nearly $100 million a year from the gas tax to pay for construction projects.
And if drivers really, really want to help the situation, hopefully what they will do is they will go to their congressmen or their senators and say, pass a transportation bill in Washington that will provide adequate funding, will provide for innovative financing, and will streamline the process by which we build roads and bridges.
The Ohio Department of Transportation says increasing the fuel tax is not an option, but they have not ruled out tolls as a way to increase funding. Some good economic news for northern Kentucky this morning. Japan's largest manufacturer of industrial tools will build a $2.7 million North American headquarters in Erlanger. Confusa USA will move into a 25,000 square foot facility this summer at the corner of Crescent Springs Road and the Dulwich Connector. The company currently has a facility in Florence with about a dozen employees and will add a few more once the new facility is built. Confusa has been in Florence for about 10 years now. The president of the company says the company wanted to make a more permanent investment in the region. Well, the World Choir Games are coming to Cincinnati this summer, and they want to make sure that local vendors get a piece of the action. Cincinnati is the first U.S. city to host the Games, which will feature hundreds of choirs from across the world from July 4th to the 14th. It will bring thousands of participants and visitors, as well as international attention to our city. The local organizing committee for the Games is hosting a vendor matchmaker event Thursday, February 9th, from 9 a.m. to noon at the Duke Energy Convention Center downtown. Interested vendors from a variety of service businesses, including transportation, catering, and printing, to name just a few, should attend and learn more about the opportunities to be part of the Games. For more information, visit our website for a link to RSVP to this event. Up next on U.S. Bank Business Watch, we'll tell you about the latest restaurant to sign a lease at the Banks. It's a popular chain that you may have visited in another city. And how we're helping to make a beer maker the biggest seller in the U.S. Well, some news you may have missed if you're not reading the Business Courier online every day. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse is coming to Cincinnati. The popular Florida-based upscale chain has signed a lease for a 9,600 square feet space at the Banks on the riverfront. No word on when this is going to open at the corner of Freedom Way and Walnut Street. The first phase of the retail at the Banks is now more than 70% occupied. Thanks in part to all the people around Cincinnati who've been guzzling Yuengling beer since October. The Pennsylvania brewer has surpassed Boston Beer Company as the largest American-owned brewer. As the Business Courier reported in September, Yuengling finally began shipping to the Buckeye State last fall. Its beers are still sold in only 14 states. Hollywood coming back to Cincinnati. A Doll's House starring Ben Kingsley will start filming in Cincinnati this month with the help of an $800,000 tax credit from the state of Ohio. Producers expect to hire more than 60 local crew members and 120 cast members to work on this film. Procter & Gamble and the Kroger Company are among the top companies in the nation for multicultural business opportunities. The Cincinnati-based firms were ranked in the top 50 organizations for multicultural business opportunities by DiversityBusiness.com. Kroger ranked 15th, P&G 24th. Julie Jansen, president of Duke Energy, is the 2012 chair of the Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber's Board of Directors. She will be publicly installed into that position February 16th at the Chamber's annual dinner, taking over for George Vincent, managing partner for the Dinsmore & Scholl law firm. 16 new board members will join Jansen to lead the organization. So, are you happy at work? CareerBliss.com put together a ranking of the nation's happiest and unhappiest workers. Cincinnati ranked as the 10th most unhappy place to work based on 10 factors, including relationship with the boss and coworkers and compensation. The most unhappy U.S. city is New Haven, Connecticut. The happiest is Miami, Florida. Apparently, they didn't ask us, did they? Speaking of happy workers, U.S. Bank investment analyst Jim Russell joins us for this week's U.S. Bank Economic 360, along with Kate Brown, a financial planner for U.S. Bank. They're talking about why a financial planner might be right for you. Jim?
Thanks, Brian. Kate, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us a little bit about what a financial planner does. You're a financial planner for U.S. Bank. What does that sound like every day?
Well, Jim, my role within U.S. Bank as a financial planner, I work as part of a client team. And within the client team, I work with clients to take a step back from the numbers, to talk to them about what are their goals, what are their objectives, and what do they want to do. And from that, we determine kind of where they are today, where they want to go, and develop a roadmap to help them to get from point A to point B.
So there is a money component and there's an emotional component.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about the process. Tell me how you work with your clients. How does that work exactly?
Well, as I mentioned, the initial part is a very important conversation about them. But after that, it involves a very analytical process of looking at their current cash flow, their retirement accounts, investment portfolio,
right,
income tax, estate, and insurance.
Very comprehensive then.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. What are some of your client concerns? The markets certainly have been uncertain, to say the least, over the last 1, 3, 5, 10 years. Yeah. Certainly that's figuring into the client's psyche a little bit. What are some of the more common concerns that you hear from your clients?
I would say definitely in the past 2 to 3 years we've seen a common concern around those who are looking to retire, or perhaps those who want to retire or thought they would have been retired already, and they're saying, can I retire? Am I going to be okay? Similarly, those who put money into their children's education accounts, wondering over the past 10 years, thought they would have accumulated more money at this point. But unfortunately, they're looking to say, again, are our children okay? On the other hand, we have clients who are in a different phase of their life, and they're looking to establish a legacy or perhaps continue gifting to their children and grandchildren, or even to their charities. And what we're able to do, and what I'm proud to say we can do, is give them the answers to their questions regardless of the market fluctuations, and help them to understand that they are going to be okay.
Kate, great stuff. Thanks for the overview.
Thank you.
Brian, back to you.
All right, Jim, thanks. Still to come on U.S. Bank Business Watch, NKU launched an initiative last week to grow technology jobs in our area. We'll talk to one of the founders of the program next. And congratulations to Joe Condit, founder and CEO of Condit Group, a holding company and angel investment firm, one of our 40 Under 40 honorees. It's good to have you with us on U.S. Bank Business Watch. In this morning's Business Insight, we have a new player in town when it comes to investing in the creation of new technology jobs. Last week, Northern Kentucky University announced the launch of a business accelerator program at the new College of Informatics. The UpTech program would work with many of the area's biggest companies to help dozens of startup companies in several technology fields. This is a look inside Griffin Hall on the NKU campus. The premise of UpTech is that big ideas require equity investment. Through a competitive selection process, UpTech will invest up to $100,000 in seed capital for 10 companies. Those selected will also receive 6 months of business accelerator support through a legal, financial, and marketing mentorship team. With more on how UpTech works, Adam Caswell, a co-founder of UpTech, joins our Business Courier publisher, Jamie Smith.
Thanks for being here today, Adam.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you guys had an exciting week last week, big announcement out at NKU.
We did.
Give me, in your words, kind of a 30-second commercial about what's UpTech is about.
Yeah, UpTech has one clear mission, and that's to find the 50 best and brightest early-stage informatics companies in the world, bring them to Northern Kentucky, and the way that we've gone about doing that is creating the most robust accelerator program ever. We're investing up to $100,000 in each company, which is more than the national average. We're giving them 6 months of free professional services. They'll be able to call the One Riverfront Place office tower in Newport home. And finally, there's a really innovative NKU partnership component where they'll be able to team up with the university, have interns, be able to have faculty research, kind of a first of its kind in the accelerator process.
That's great. I guess there's some similarities into the Brandery, Cincy Tech, but I guess the uniqueness of this program is probably the connection with the College of Informatics in NKU.
It is. Things like the Brandery, they recognize the assets within our region. You know, with the Brandery, it was consumer marketing, having P&G, Macy's. This is our competitive advantage, informatics. So it's a neat ecosystem that's being built here in Greater Cincinnati, already a consumer marketing hub, and now we're set to be an informatics cluster.
Oh, that's excellent. Besides NKU, it seems like there's a lot of great partners. Obviously, your organization, Campbell County Economic Progress Authority, Vision 2015, the Chamber, the E-Zone. I mean, a lot of expertise right there.
Sure, we had to be able to leverage our regional assets. And some of the great things about this region are a strong business community. With this support network, what's unique is each one of these companies, they'll have their own attorney, their own accountant, their own PR specialist, and their own financial advisor or bank. That's unique in that other programs do a more macro approach of maybe a workshop one week. So we wanted to leverage that asset, our strong business community, and they've stepped to the plate. And additionally, you know, folks like Vision 2015, E-Zone, Triad, the Chamber, we all recognize, you know, we're at that 9% unemployment rate, but at some point it's going to come back down. It's cyclical. Right. But what are we going to invest our time and resources in? Is it going to be those minimum wage jobs, or is it going to be jobs of the future? We've put the resources in place, like the College of Informatics, to build this cluster, and this is our response to make sure that our greatest export are our smart students and bright ideas.
Yeah. Well, last week on the show we had Agenda 360 on, and a lot of what we talked about was getting those jobs that they, you know, one of their big items on their agenda, and keeping young talent here. And I think the fact that you're, you know, willing to invest in these companies has to help us with both of those. I have to say, though, it seems pretty optimistic looking at your timeline. I mean, application deadline, or I guess application starts in February and ends March 1st.
Absolutely. You know, we've built this program aggressively, and we plan to implement it aggressively. And we open up the applications on February 1st. It'll be a one-month process, and then through the month of March is when we'll do our screening and our official judging of the companies to take to our investors to officially invest in. What's neat about the judging panel is, you know, we realize that we're a region still emerging in informatics. So we wanted a national panel of experts to do two things. One, to review these applicants, make sure that we're getting the best of the best, but secondly, to put some exposure on our region and the innovative things we're doing. So we've got an incredible panel. We have Dell, Cisco, Summa Software, CBS Studios, and then regional giants like Scripps and Procter & Gamble being able to put their eyes on this, and for these national giants, for them to see what we're doing, so that way as they continue to think about their operations in the future, they know Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky is an incredible place to be.
That's great. And I guess phase one has it's got like five phases, so there'll be 10 companies at first. Well, I'd love to, you know, obviously once you get these companies announced, maybe get you back on here with one of those companies and kind of go through the process a little bit.
Absolutely. It's exciting times to think that the 50 best early stage informatics companies are going to be calling this region home, moving here, growing here, thriving here, and putting Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky's economy on the right track in the 21st century.
Well, I'll be watching for it. I know just this past week alone, just watching it on social media, I mean, every other tweet I got, I think we're from you guys, so I'm sure we're going to hear everything about you.
Excellent. Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks again for being on the show today. Back to you, Brian.
All right, very exciting. Thanks, Jamie and Adam. And for more information on UpTech, you can contact Adam Caswell directly. 509-675, that's 859-509-6735, or acaswell@campbellcountyky.org. Stay with Local 12 all morning. CBS Sunday Morning is next, followed by Face the Nation at 10:30, and Local 12 Newsmakers with Dan Hurley at 11. This week, Dan is joined by Cincinnati Police Chief James Craig. That's Local 12 Newsmakers right here at 11 a.m. Thanks a lot for joining us this morning for U.S. Bank Business Watch. Of course, we'll be back next Sunday and every Sunday morning at 8:30 right here on Local 12. For more business news all week long, visit the Business Courier online and sign up for our daily emails. Our address is CincinnatiBusinessCourier.com. To watch this program online, just go to our website, scroll about 1/3 of the way down to Inside the Business Courier, and click on Business Watch. I'm Brian Patrick. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Have a great Sunday and a good week.